Yo,
What up? What up?
Ooh, another week, man.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go, baby.
Episode 133.
Yeah.
Tell you, man, they flying by now, man.
Yo, dude, this is, they're just, it's rolling. Every time I write it down, I'm like, nah, that's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah,
Nah, it's dope. Welcome back, everybody, to the Copper Footman Podcast. He is Juan, and I'm Sean, and every week we get together, have a few drinks, and let it all fly out. Talk about things going on in the world, try to focus on things, making an impact, whether they be good, bad, or otherwise. Hit them with this deliciousness of the day, please.
Ooh, listen, bro, this originally started as a drink from T-Pain's cocktail recipe book.
Okay, shout out to T-Pain.
So shout out to T-Pain, but it is no longer that. So before
we made it our own.
We started tinkering and shit. So the name of the drink is officially almost a T-Pain drink. It is based on his recipe, which he called "All I Do Is Win." And,
that's cool.
And yeah, so this is awesome, man. It is a bourbon-based drink, and y'all probably gonna have to write this down or hit up our IG at the Copper Footman Podcast on Instagram so that you could get because it's a little complex. So this is not the easy one. I know people give a shit about doing some complicated ones this time. This is definitely one of those.
It's not that bad. It's just a little time consuming.
It's just a little, it's definitely time consuming. We try to batch it for this go round. So if you see the bottle like halfway, we haven't drank that much yet.
But it's sitting in the shaker.
Yeah, we had to batch make it. But yeah, man. So bourbon based. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take 2 orange slices, 3 lemon slices, a couple of mint leaves, 2 dashes of bitters, of just regular aromatic bitters, half an ounce of simple syrup, and a shot of bourbon, and you're gonna muddle it together, mostly to get those juices out of the orange and the lemons. So you're gonna muddle all that in a shaker glass, throw ice in it, shake it up, pour it in a rocks glass with ice. Then you're gonna top it off, and this is where we started getting experimental. You're actually gonna top it off with Fever Tree's blood orange ginger beer. And with that, this is now the ginger beer podcast because we put ginger beer in everything. Damn it. Every time we're like iffy on the fence, we're like, just throw ginger beer or lime bitch in it. So we threw some fucking ginger beer in this, but it specifically the blood orange ginger beer because the citrus flavors, man, come out and it tastes amazing. So T-Pain's recipe calls for club soda. We switched that out for the blood orange ginger beer. So top it off with that, stir it up, and then garnish it with a lemon wheel and some mint. And I know that was a lot, so we'll put it on on the thing. But it's awesome, dude.
Dude, I've had some people hit me up because we have been using. You put me on a ginger beer originally, and ever since then, like I used to be a big like gin and tonic guy. I haven't drank a gin and tonic. I've switched it out to the ginger beer. And I've had people come up to me, people in my family listen to the pod, and they're like, "Man, that damn ginger beer go with everything."
It does, dude. The only downside to it is like tonic is probably more like caloric friendly. Like if you're on a diet or you're trying to watch what you consume. Yeah. So like that's the only reason I'll do club soda and the tonic more. But flavor wise, like you can't beat it, bro. It literally does go with everything, really good, man. It's so crazy. And it
definitely there was, when you made the drink sort of T-Pain style, or at least that what it was in the recipe book. We both were like, like it's good, but something's missing.
Yeah, and
you just happen to have that blood orange.
You said ginger beer, and I just happen to have that one.
Yep. So it might go good with regular ginger beer too. So if y'all out there, try it out with the regular ginger beer. Let us know how it is. But this blood orange ginger beer is hitting right now.
Yeah, and we did the Jefferson's. I think it's the first time we're doing Jefferson's bourbon on here, right? That I can remember.
Yeah, definitely.
It's pretty good. I like it. I've had Jefferson's Ocean. I've had the regular Jefferson's before, but I don't think I've ever actually bought a bottle from it. I've had it, I think, at places. I did buy a bottle of the Jefferson's Ocean. That was pretty cool.
Yep.
They bottle them out at sea. Like the barrels sit in the ocean, and I did.
Really?
I couldn't taste the difference, but it was cool. Like the bottle is cool.
Is the bourbon blue?
Nah.
Like what's up?
It's like a normal. It's supposed to be like from being out in salt water for like I think it's for like a year or whatever it is.
Oh wow!
So
okay.
they keep the barrels on like in the ship and whatever, and it's supposed to be like taking in those like aromas or whatever. Yep. See, again, it was a good bourbon, but it wasn't like I couldn't.
You couldn't taste it.
Nah, it didn't taste like shrimp or nothing.
Bourbon shrimp, coconut shrimp, shrimp salad. shrimp gumbo.
For everything be.
Oh shit! So yeah, try it out, people. Let us know what you think. We'll definitely put it on IG so you can check out the recipe. But if you guys mix something else in it, like some regular ginger beer, and you got a comment, please hit us up. Let us know, man, because I'm constantly. Last week we did a drink with apple juice, and I had bought a bottle of apple juice for the drink, but Publix had like a buy one get one, and they had this apple mango juice. And so when we didn't try it with that, I went home and I totally switched to that. I tried it one time with that. It was better.
And it was better.
Yep.
Is it the Mott's apple?
Mott's.
Mott's.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm about to try that, man. Yeah, that drink was great. This is apple.
It was good by itself with
so
with the apple juice, and but I tried it with the apple mango. I think it was. It was delicious.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. Oh, that's one of like the funnest parts about doing this too, man. To get put on to like all these different like. It's funny, man. Whenever I can't think of anything, I'm like, there's so many out there. Like, there's just no way that you can't like. It's literally endless. Like, even T-Pain's book is awesome because he has like a story behind every cocktail and like his own take. It's really cool. And even like specific liquors, he's like sort of discusses whatever his attachment is to that liquor, or like, oh, the first time I had this, it was this, or blah, blah, you know. It's like, so it is pretty cool. But the complexity of the cocktails that he throws in there, you're just like reading it. First off, you're like, who thinks of all this shit? Like some of the stuff in there I've never even heard of. I didn't know those were words, bro. I was like
throwing like truffles in there and shit.
All kinds of shit, bro. Like CBD drops and kachaka flavored fucking jalapeno pipes. Like, I'm like, I don't even know what that is, but all right, cool, bro. Like,
I wonder what does the CBD drops do?
It's because some of the drinks are supposed to be like, they're named after like a mellow song or a mellow thing, and it's supposed to be like, oh, cool,
like
calm me down. Yeah, so it's supposed to be a drink that mellows you out.
Shit.
And I think he even picks liquors that are known to like mellow you out, and then like the CBD drops and all that stuff. So, and then he has this whole thing where he'll be like, I like to do this, you know, in the studio if I'm trying to come up with something that's like this one chills me out and does this, and he'll give you like a recipe, and like it's really cool. But just to look at the complexity, and he worked with bartenders obviously and stuff to sort of put together, but the complexity of some of these cocktails, man, and the things that people think about, and the different liqueurs, because that's the other thing is like there is like an endless reign of liqueurs of you know, whether it's raspberry or pomegranate or whatever, like it's just endless, man. Coconut and then things I've never heard of and spices and you're just like, wow, you never run out of ideas, man. Literally, like we'd have to be on episode like 20,000 I think before we start running out of like, and I don't know that the idea is
we'll just repeat,
and I don't know that the idea is to not repeat drink. We repeat drinks here all the time. Like we'll do old fashions or we'll do gin and tonics or we'll do whatever. But I'm like, you know, we're always trying to like look for something like what haven't we done kind of thing. And I'm like, man, you really truly could do a new one every time.
Yeah,
it's just
yeah, absolutely. Right. All right, man. My carbon footprint of the week is going out to a couple MIT researchers.
Okay. All right.
So they developed an AI deep learning model that predicts lung cancer.
Oh.
So which is crazy because lung cancer is, I didn't even know this, lung cancer is the deadliest cancer in the world.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I didn't know lung cancer was. Okay.
I didn't know either. So this research team of like 7 people led by Regina Barcile. I hope I didn't mess that up too bad.
Okay.
But developed this AI model, and they call it Sybil. And it was designed to use a single low-dose chest scan, like a CT, right? Isn't that a CT?
Yeah. No.
Am I wrong on that? I don't know. It's anyway a chest scan.
I don't even know.
To predict the risk of lung cancers occurring like between 1 to 6 years after screening.
Okay.
And so supposedly it's extremely difficult for humans to find the disease early by looking at these scans, but this AI Sybil was able to forecast both short-term and long-term cancer risk. And when they did it like to predict cancer within a year, that shit was between 0.86 to 0.94, with a 1 being you're 100%. Like that's 100%. So 86 to 94%, like fit, like predicting.
Oh,
that you're gonna get cancer.
Yeah. Wow, man. And how far in advance?
Like they said 1 to 6 years, bro.
Wow, man. Dude,
so the if they did it within a year, it was 86 to 94%.
that it was predicting that
It's
it was
like, yes,
yo, you have it or you're
Like,
not or
correct.
whatever. Yeah. Wow, man.
it's nuts, dude. What AI and what they're using AI for, it's crazy. Like I think a couple of weeks ago, right? I think I gave my carbon footprint to McDonald's, who's using AI to run its restaurant. Right, and we've talked about ChatGPT on here several times, and now getting it into medicine and these predictive models, and we're early on with this AI stuff, dude. We're early.
We're
dude.
just getting started, man.
Yeah.
It's funny, man. We're just getting started, I think, publicly, but clearly it's been in the works behind the scenes because now you're seeing everyone. I don't know if you've messed with Microsoft Bing.
I try, but I think it said that at the time that I tried it, I couldn't get it. It was
I think
only
they
given-
stopped. There was too many people, so now you can waitlist yourself.
Okay.
But everyone's rolling out their version of it now. Like
Google has one.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Microsoft Bing did a chat, and then everyone has like their iteration of like some kind of AI now, and it's like the race to give you the one that's going to be in our hands every day that we're going to use whatever platform. But what I like about it is that there's literally now some that are catered to different things, so you can find different AIs now for medical and for art and whatever your sort of niche is. But dude, that medical stuff, like, I feel like it's inevitable before we are like in scanners like that and for everything almost, man.
Right.
Because it's only going to get like smarter and smarter, and it's
Right.
going to be it's going to put patterns together, and like you said, it's like at a cellular level, these things are going to be able to sort of dissect things and see things that the human eye couldn't for long, right? Like
Right.
it's gonna get wild, man. And it's funny. I had a story that goes similar to yours, man.
Okay.
With these MIT guys, that was like the founder of Spotify, Daniel Ek. He's co-founded a new company that they're doing AI powered full body scans. So the company's called Nico Health, and so they basically take a 360-degree scan of your body,
Okay.
and then they use AI with they take 70 sensors and over 50 million data points that they've already collected from the internet, and they basically, and it's self-learning, so it gets, the more it scans, the smarter it starts to get.
Yeah, absolutely.
But they take that, and then with your doctor, it basically gives you results of like a full body scan, but it's capable of giving you that you receive results on your doctor's visits. Obviously, you just can't go on an app or whatever, but then you can track it like through the app once you've already gotten your results from your doctor and they've spoken to you about what they found. But I think you can use it for almost anything. So the idea is that it starts to, like what you were saying, what these guys from MIT are doing is like they can predict these lung cancers. This is going to start going like, hey, something looks abnormal here, and it's going to start getting smarter and going like, oh, that's usually an indicator of X.
Right.
And so it sort of goes hand in hand with this, man, where like, dude, it's not going to go away, man. Dude, a decade from now, I can only imagine what this stuff's going to be like, man.
Yeah, dude. And technology moves so fast now. And this stuff, like I said, it's teaching itself and just getting better. So, man, it's the future is the future is bright, bro. Like if we wanted to be as a species, right, the future is bright, bro. I was using ChatGPT to help my son with some homework the other day.
Oh,
Just because it was like, he had some questions to answer, and then we were sort of doing like the reading, and it was science related. And dude, it's just like 8th grade science, bro. The readings, if you're not into that, it's so fucking boring, bro. It's so boring.
it really is.
But I was using like that, so we sort of read the thing, and then the questions kind of wanted you to elaborate, and it was things that you couldn't really get from the text. So, dude, I went on ChatGPT, bro, and got some information, or did some more reading on there, and was able to sort of to completely answer these damn questions. Yeah,
Dude, that shit's passed. You saw it's passed medical exams and bar exams and
We talked about
data
that.
and data warehouse or not data warehouse. MIT
Was it in the
level,
bar, too?
like past the bar.
Yep.
Some medical, and then recently like some MIT. I think Google's like data something like scientist. It's a job that pays like $200K a year, but they do give you a test. It passed it.
wow.
Like, yeah, man, it's nuts, dude. And I don't know if you saw the story out of Colombia. This judge in Colombia has basically said they've had this backlog of cases for like ever. They can't get through because it's obviously, it's human.
Just too much.
You read this too much. Dude, he used ChatGPT to make a ruling recently. So he used precedent. He used ChatGPT, and he basically said, yeah, man. And it's interesting. So the case involved so the judge's name is actually Juan Manuel Padilla, and he's out of Cartagena. And he had this, the case was basically this autistic child's parents were suing the insurance company, saying that the insurance company should cover all of the kid's therapies. He literally just asked it that. And then it fired back with an answer. But then he also still had to do his research of like, hey, like, looking for president. Are there are prior cases and all that stuff that so it holds up, right? But he included the ChatGPT chat as he's going back and forth with it in his ruling, like so in the official document.
Oh wow!
So it's not like he hid it. He's just like, I asked ChatGPT too, and I'm using it for this. But he was saying like, with this backlog of cases, this is gonna help us get through some of this stuff because you're going to be able to ask it and it's got this infinite source of knowledge. It's going to go back and look, and the thing responded like, in Colombia, insurance companies are required. Like it literally gives them. And of course the pushback is that they've proven that you can ask it the same question and you get a different answer sometimes, and so there is some pushback
like
because
a completely different answer, or is
sometimes or that you're able to trick it into giving you. But I think the I don't know, my pushback to that would be is like, we're in its infancy. Like you need these tests, like questions, or you need sort of like this data to just so that it keeps learning and just getting smarter,
right?
And inevitably, dude, I minored in law very briefly in college, and so much of it was precedent. Like they would give us, like I remember he would give us like a case, and then you had to go find cases that mirrored it. But dude, can you imagine like you're flipping through law books and law book after law book looking for things that are similar and what the ruling was and how that relates to this and all this shit? It's so boring. And granted, they do have, like I can't remember the name of the platform, like Lexington or something like that, where you can search for stuff and it gives you cases, But that's why so much you hear like, in blah versus blah, da 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 ruled yada yada yada, and then they use that to sort of as a precedent to keep ruling sort of in a similar fashion moving forward. But I feel like with this chat, instead of you doing this research, it's going to go and give you these answers. Like, hey, here's what's happened. Here's what the law says. Here's how you sort of sustain. I'm like, it's a no-brainer to me. And then the more cases it has, I'm almost wondering do you let these things just listen in, even on court cases and on and into forensic files and into all that shit? And do you just let it collect that data and just...
Dude, what is this Alexa behind me been collecting? Is it still here?
Oh, yeah. It's right. Yeah, it's on that
Thing's
show.
Been collecting for the last 3 years.
God, bro. The shit that thing has heard. that shit is getting me convicted of something eventually. I don't know what, but it's getting me convicted.
Yep. All right, man. I know that wasn't your carbon footprint. So what's yours? What you got?
Listen, man, my carbon footprint this week is going out. And, sometimes, I like to be an asshole. Sometimes I like to be very heartfelt. There's a little bit of both in this. There's a lot of sincerity behind this. But, dude, mine's going out to Rihanna's fetus, bro. Rihanna's fetus made its debut at the Super Bowl. It got to perform at a Super Bowl before Dak Prescott.
Shout out to the Cowboy fans.
It got to the Super Bowl before the Cowboys. But for real though, dude, Rihanna performing at she gotta be 5-6 months pregnant at the Super Bowl is fucking crazy.
This is
bro.
her first, right?
No, it's her second child.
Oh, it is.
Just gave birth, so I think that's what makks this crazier, bro. There wasn't a time period in between. Clearly, she went from pregnant from birth to knocked up fast because she looks. She didn't confirm. I'm taking a guess here, bro. She got to be a second trimester somewhere, bro. Clearly pregnant. Does a whole performance. Doesn't bring out any guests other than a fetus. It's just...
I was surprised, man, but you know what? As she went through it, good performance, it just makes you realize, I was like, holy shit, Rihanna has a ton of
bangers,
hits,
bro.
Man.
Banger.
Oh
I was doing the same
God.
thing. Every time she would do something, I'm like, banger.
Yep.
Banger. I'm like, I forgot she did that song. Banger. It was I've always thought she was an iffy performer. I find her to be a very stiff, sort of boring performer.
Yeah.
So she did okay in this. She was fine. She was actually way better than I expected to be. But to do this shit even pregnant, and then to hear that catalog of songs, you're just like, damn.
I was watching it, man, and I was thinking to myself it's like she's not really moving that much, not really dancing that much, right?
But then
I was thinking, I was going, I don't remember ever seeing her do that, but I was like, whatever. It was my wife that goes like, "Is she pregnant?" And then when kind of her coat came open, some I'm looking, I'm going like, "Oh shit, maybe she is." And then they looked it up, and clearly she was.
You know, I know I'm an asshole because I went, "Why is she wearing so much clothes?" And
I was thinking like,
belly.
I was like, man, it must be cold over there. She got a coat on.
Nah, bro, it's Arizona. I was like, I did the math.
Desert.
I did the math. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, Rihanna. I was like, since when does Rihanna wear this much clothing? And then it was like, looking at the stomach thing. I was like, holy shit, she's pregnant. Like,
yeah.
I was like, yo, good for her, man.
Well, she did a good job, man.
Yeah, I thought
and
so
like
too,
it said
man.
in the catalog of songs from her, man.
Just banger, man. I want to, like, I think we get so caught up in like these artists, like very, I mean, rightfully so, right? Like for this generation, like the Beyoncés and, like maybe prior generations, you're like, oh, Michael Jackson. And it's like, dude, Rihanna is gonna go down. Like as I'm listening to this catalog of songs, I'm like, holy shit, man, this is gonna go down as one of the greatest artists of all time. Like
yeah.
You could sit there and literally run a whole quinceañera or a whole night at the club just on a Rihanna songs, just Rihanna songs, man. I'm like, holy shit, man, she's what a career, man, and then to be that long away from music, like she hadn't done an album in almost like a decade or whatever it is, and
is
then
that right? It's been that
like
long,
6
bro?
or 7 years.
Wow.
So she's been out of music for a long time. She doesn't need it anymore. She's a billionaire from her makeup and her clothing and
that's right.
all this stuff. And so to come out, be that rusty, be that pregnant, pull out this performance, I was like, yo, good for her, man. I was like, that was impressive, man. And I thought it was a good performance, man. I thought it was awesome. And then I just every time I would see another baby, I'm like, how did baby make it there before Dak? It's not even a baby yet. It's not even a person.
Shout out to the fetus.
I was like, it's not even a person. Actually, it is in Mississippi or whatever.
I was gonna say if she passed 15 weeks. DeSantis said no.
I'm like, look, I can't even scoop it out now. So it's gonna, let's go.
It's legit. You can talk about it now.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, it's a real person. Otherwise, I couldn't give it the carbon footprint.
That's right. That's right.
15 weeks is the.
We only give it to living things.
We only give it to living beings.
Dude, Super Bowl. How'd you like it?
Okay, yo, I know it was a close game.
Dude, that shit was good. Stop it.
No. It was good. I found it difficult to like. I don't know what the word is, man. To get into it, like to get sucked in.
Man?
Yeah, I thought it was a good game. Don't get me wrong,
man.
But I wasn't emotionally invested in the outcome either way. Like I didn't care who won. I didn't like.
I was pulling for the Eagles.
So I was pulling for the Chiefs, but I'm like, I wouldn't have been mad if the Eagles won. You know what I mean? Like it was one of those things where I'm like, oh, okay, like I wasn't. I don't know, man. I don't know how to describe it, but it was a good game. I feel like the emotion didn't match what the game was. Like the game was good, but I found it like hard to like get into that. And it wasn't the game itself. I don't know if it was me just like not caring or
he was
like,
working.
Yeah, probably it was working through a lot of it and doing stuff. So it was like hard to get in that mode, man. And so, but dude, great game. I know there was controversy on how it ended and all that stuff. Like you do hate to see a game end get decided by something like that. But also it was a hold. Like I'm like, and if you're a Chiefs fan and it doesn't get called, then that group is having a meltdown Monday morning. So
yeah, because that was huge, right? Like if they don't make that call, it's 4th down. They have to kick.
Yeah, it's a kick.
And you got
the
like
Eagles
a minute
probably
30.
go over and make the kick too when you get overtime in the Super Bowl. Like,
right.
And as a matter of fact, before that play had happened, I think I literally was like, "Oh shit, this is about to go into overtime." Like I had immediately assumed they're gonna kick. And because I thought the Eagles would get that stop on the next one, this is before the hold. And then I went, oh, it's going to be a minute 30. The Eagles are going to march down and get that field goal.
They'll get something.
Yeah. So I thought, okay, this is going to go to OT. Like that'll be cool. But then when the hold happens, it was like so anticlimactic. Like it just like burst the bubble of the whole thing. You're just kind of like, okay. And then you're looking at it going like, no, that's the right call. Run out the clock, kick the thing, go win the Super Bowl. Don't get cute like the like Seahawks did a few years back and all that shit. It's just
and
like,
dude, what about the receiver to have the state of mind to go down? Like I saw this clip and I was and the verbiage underneath it basically said like, and I don't remember the receiver's name.
Juju.
No, I don't think it was the one that. Not the one that got the hold.
Oh.
The one that gets the catch and he freaking goes down before he goes in the end zone.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about. Yep.
I go, that would have given Patrick Mahomes 4 touchdowns in the game. And then this guy, it would have given him a touchdown in a Super Bowl. which is a place that
And
this
essentially
dude
the game-winning
never,
touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah.
this dude may never go back to. You know what I mean? But to have to be in a state of mind to actually go down and do what's better for the team. You know, because he could have went and scored, and then these guys still have a minute 30 left, and they go down and score too.
It was the running back, right? Was it Miko Harm?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was, man.
Remember.
But yeah, dude, to slide in that situation, like I wonder. Obviously, you have to talk about that beforehand. Like
I would imagine.
I'm guessing Andy
so,
Reid
man.
is smart enough to where he goes, "Yo, if you get it," and that also shows how much respect they had for the Eagles' offense. Is like, yo,
Don't give him the ball back.
don't give him the ball back. Like,
Yeah.
just take it down. Let's run this thing as much of this out as we can, and then let's win a Super Bowl.
I thought the Eagles would win because I thought their defense was gonna dominate more than they did, and I thought that the Chiefs' defensive line was really disruptive.
Yeah, dude, I can't think of his name, but there was one of the safeties or somebody from the Niners was saying, you know, he's like, that Eagles defense is not as good as everyone thinks. Their front four are, the secondary's trash. We're going to expose them, blah, 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 blah. And then after the game, he's going, I just really wish we had a quarterback that can throw because we would have exposed them. And even this whole week, and I know he was kind of being a hater on the Eagles, but he just went, watch what the Chiefs do to them. They're going to score at will. And bro,
And
they did, man. And
In the second half, anyway.
in the second half, they did, right? Yeah, they struggled. But honestly, dude, the first half, they just couldn't get the ball. The Eagles just had the ball a lot,
Eagles
right?
kept
Like,
it,
but
yeah.
every time the Chiefs got the ball, dude, and two of those touchdowns, those guys were by themselves. Like, whatever they saw on tape, even Andy Reid went, and I know he does the whole thing where he sends guys in motions and then they run in opposite direction, and it is confusing. But that's part of the secondary. Is like, you guys got to communicate, and somebody's got to know who to pick up and when. Dude, those touchdowns, it's literally identical plays on opposite sides, and it works every time. And the guys walk in like untouched, and it was like, wow, man, that guy was talking shit the whole week, and I'm going, dude, you lost, like, move on. And I'm going, oh fuck, maybe he was onto something. It's like, it's like, damn.
But Jalen Hurts played a good game, man. I'll tell you what I was really impressed with was after the game when they spoke to the Eagles players and head coach. Nobody made excuses.
Nope.
No one talked about the refs, the holding calls. As a matter of fact, the guy who got called goes, yeah, they're like, I held, and he goes, I figured they weren't gonna call it.
Yeah, he did. He's like, I held. I figured it. Yep. Yeah.
The field where the guys was slipping and sliding, right?
God,
And so a lot of those guys changed cleats, which they said helped. But again, like when they talked about like those three things, none of them made any excuses. They all took it on the chin and was like, yo, like they were better than us today.
Yeah, dude. And even the coach, I love the coach went, yo, it wasn't that one play, man. There were so many plays where you go back or we had opportunities. It's like they made more plays than we did. Like, it's just bottom line. It's like because there was another play too where the Chiefs didn't get, so I think what the incomplete catch or whatever it was, a catch, no catch that the Chiefs would have had. So they're like, oh, they kind of cancel each other out, like the two plays. And you're just like, yeah, maybe. I mean, you always get those. But I didn't feel like the call was so egregious. Like, I remember Twitter was on fire and a lot of, like, ESPN afterwards. I'm watching, like, SportsCenter stuff, and everybody's just talking about the hold and how, like, oh, it's anticlimactic. I'm like, agreed. But it is a penalty.
Right.
You know, I'm like, it's a shitty way to end the game, but it's a penalty. I'm like,
Dude,
and if you don't call it, Chiefs fans are livid. I'm like, so either way.
I thought, for me, I mean, yes, so you see the jersey get pulled. I don't think the pull was so significant that it disrupted his route.
But I thought he was clearly beat. I think that's the problem. Like, because a lot of people were like, oh, the ball wasn't catchable. Well, it's a hold, so it doesn't matter. But then I think what happened is when he does the cut, it's like, fuck, you could tell he gets beat, and it's like he's going to score a touchdown.
Yeah.
So I think it's almost one of those penalties, too, where you go, I'll take that. And then if you have the 3 timeouts, obviously it helps you. But the fact that they had and that's the other thing about this that people forget is like they had to burn a timeout because they kept running that clock down to the very last second. And they probably got away with a 1 or 2 delay of games.
Delay games, yeah.
And that they didn't use, and then they wound up having to use a timeout. But if you have 3 timeouts there and you don't burn that one on the mistake you make, then the Chiefs can't run out the whole clock, right? You get the ball back with maybe 30 to 40 seconds. And then you need 3. You know what I mean? And maybe it forces the Chiefs to score a touchdown sooner.
Well, dude, but had he, so if he didn't hold and he gets burned and they score, they have plenty of time to go down.
But I think in that moment, you're like, fuck.
Yeah, right.
He got past me. And so it's like, or he's gonna. Like, because I think when you look at the play, he cuts in, and then when he cuts back out, it's like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? It's that like, receiver knows where he's going. as a defensive back, you're sort of in that no man's land when you're like, oh, now I got to turn and burn,
Yep.
and this dude's gonna like he's wide open. So
Yeah.
it's like,
and if you ain't Dion,
nope,
you're not catching him.
Dion would close that gap, boy. Woo. Yeah, man. But it was a great game too. I'm glad that it was a shootout and not the blowout in any direction. I'm glad it was the shootout between two great offenses.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm listen. No, wouldn't mind watching that again. Obviously, with those two teams going at it like that, and you feel like it's a possibility. I'd have to see it from the Eagles next year because I just think they're gonna have to start paying guys soon. Guys are gonna retire from the Eagles. I think that old line goes away and stuff. So I wonder, do the Eagles become those Carolina Panthers from a few years back, or is this the start of
Right.
something good? Because Jalen looked good.
Yeah. Dude, what was that last play?
Which one?
The last so they get the kickoff
and he throws
like a
nothing.
like a 30-yard bomb, quote unquote bomb. That shit wasn't no bomb.
And it was short to no. It was like,
short
why
to
would you
no
run a
one.
lateral play?
Dude, I really thought they had 5 seconds. I was like, take like a 10-yard shot at the sideline, and then bring the kicker in for a 65-yarder.
Fuck it. Yeah, why not? Like, if ever you're indoors,
Yep.
you think like just give it a shot. And maybe you're afraid that he slips or whatever.
Yeah, but
like,
so what?
Fuck it. It's better than the
You're
shot
not.
you had
Yeah, that. Dude, he got the balls like the 30-yard line. I think.
Yeah, dude, I wonder. And listen, these guys have thought about it, but you could take a step back if you're a kicker and kick. Do you run some kind of protection or some kind of scheme where you go, yo, you guys just need to hold it for? He needs half a step more or one, because a lot of these kickers could make it from 65 or 70. It's the running head start, and it's like, how do you inevitably someone's gonna figure out a good way to, like, do you run some type of protection that allows you that half a step or whatever it is, but you just go. I wonder at what point do people start running like these trick kick type plays where it does like maybe it opens the gap down the middle where you block. I don't know, like you block people outwards instead of they come like there's got to be a thing there, and maybe it's not the sexy part of the game nobody focuses on, but like you said, it's a 65-yarder. It's not like common
in this day and age,
but this day and age, it's makeable
guys
indoors.
Are making it.
Yeah, so yeah, man, it was a cool game. It's a bummer now that we have no NFL for 7-8 months.
We talked about XFL.
Yeah.
So it is coming. Did you see it?
Yeah, in 2 months, right? Or April?
Is it? Is it April? I don't know.
April.
I know, but I know USFL is around that time as well.
I think they're both starting around March, April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's going to be interesting. That we'll have football coming up again real soon.
Yeah, I wonder if they lost that momentum that they had sort of going on at one point in time, or do people get back into
Yes.
it?
So just pre-COVID, they had a good momentum.
Great
going
momentum,
on, right?
Yeah. I've never watched one of those games ever. Wasn't interested in. And then I remember I watched like one, and I saw like the interviews on the sideline, and I'm talking to people right after they would throw a pick, and I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
But I was thinking that, I remember they said they were going to come out in 2023, but I had not seen any advertisements for it at all. And then I think during the Super Bowl, was when they had and I'm just like, oh shit, I guess so it is coming back.
Yeah.
But I was just like, man, did they miss that? Because USFL has been marketing.
Yeah.
For a while now, like, oh yeah, like NFL's over, but we're starting.
And then I wonder, are they competing for the same players too, right? Like those.
I would imagine so,
right? Like it's gonna be. Dude, Orlando has a team for one of them. Is it XFL or USFL that Orlando has a team for?
I think it's XFL.
We gotta go. That'll be dope.
I have a football from the first XFL.
The Predators? Was it Predators? Wait.
No. Predators was arena football. But when we
Rage.
had Rage, that's
what it was. The red.
But the football was an XFL football.
Oh really?
Yeah. I had that shit. It was not good quality.
Didn't we have like a great head coach though? Wasn't that like dude from the Gators? Wasn't that homie from the
Spurrier?
Yeah, wasn't Steve Spurrier like the coach
you
of
could
one of
be
those
right,
teams?
man. I don't remember.
Dude, I remember the Orlando Rage. Dude, I remember we went to high school where like one of the guys was like the assistant coach on that team or something like that. Yeah, it was like something crazy like that. But dude, that was the one that had no rules, right? That was the crazy like.
It wasn't no rules, but yeah, they were trying to be like the extreme.
He hate
football.
me on his jersey and shit. Yeah,
I was just gonna say that shit, man. That's the only one anybody remembers.
That's the only one.
I don't even know what team he was on. But he played in the NFL, man. I forgot the guy's name.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
He
ended up playing.
That's hilarious, man. That's like equivalent to like Skip to My Lou when Rafer Alston when he played, and he had a great NBA career, man.
Yep.
I mean, went to a finals right with the Magic and stuff, but
that's the finals. That's the finals that you and I went to.
Yeah. That's the one where Jameer was hurt and Rafer balled out, and then they brought in Jameer. Remember they brought in Jameer after missing most, and we were like, why, man? Rafer got you there. Just leave him in, and they decided to go with like a rusty Jameer Nelson, and
that was the one against the Lakers.
The Lakers. Kobe, yeah.
Kobe Lakers.
Yeah, I was at the game where they won it. They clinched it, and I remember watching like the people I was with were like, "Oh, let's just go." I'm like, "Nah, it's just like you gotta watch them celebrate I don't want to watch the Lakers celebrate a title." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's Kobe," and I'm glad I did, man, because it's like one of those like, yeah, but it's Kobe. It's like historic. It was 2 in a row, and it was the attempt. I was like, the next one would be the three-peat for Phil Jackson. Would have been what 4 three-peats or something crazy like that, man.
Yeah. Oh, it would have. Yeah, it would have been 4. Right. He did 3,
and then he did 2 in a row, and then lost. I think they lost to Boston. I think the next year, they lost to Boston the next year, which would have gave Phil Jackson 4 three-peats.
That's insane, bro.
It's nuts, bro. And I just was like, no, man. You're talking about one of the greats in Kobe, and that was that Kobe Gasol.
Yep.
Ron Artest.
I can't remember, man. We were at game 1.
Yeah.
And the Magic had a chance to win, and the young guy, he's a rookie. I can't remember his name. He gets the ball, he goes up for the layup, and he misses the layup. Courtney Lee. That's it, man. That's it.
Courtney Lee, man, misses the layup, which changed the series because if he hits that,
it's probably different.
It's probably very different, man, because the series, they never recovered from that.
It's like the Nick Anderson 4 free throws.
Oh, man. Yeah, or the Orlando Magic, man, have had some travesties, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I got a family member that calls them the tragic.
Did you? I mean, that's not that far off, bro. Oh, man. Have you seen, speaking of the NBA, have you seen all these trades going down this week, man?
Yeah, man. So I saw Kyrie.
Yeah.
I saw Kyrie and KD.
Yeah.
Right? So Kyrie was going to Dallas, which, dude, I don't know about that, man.
Bro.
I don't know how. No. Do you take him? Absolutely. I mean, the guy's a phenomenal shooter, bro. Like, I just don't know if that's going to work. Listen,
I think for a guy who's possibly anti-Semitic and anti-vax, Texas is the perfect like he found a home.
Did you know Mark Cuban is Jewish?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know? Yeah.
I thought he was Cuban.
That's why I was like, okay. Wait, I thought that was your what do you call that? What he identified as. Like, I didn't think it was your last name.
But yeah, dude, like, I don't know, man. Kyrie's one of those dudes that the only time he was successful was when he didn't have to be the guy.
Yeah, I just not, and all jokes aside, I don't like anybody picking him up. Listen, and I'm a Nets fan, so I root for the Nets and the Magic. And I didn't like him in Brooklyn. And then people were like, man, he's been balling out. Yes, I didn't trust him because I go, yeah, he's balling out because he's going to ask for a trade and he's going to be on his best behavior. Right. And sure enough, like, he asked for a trade. Like, I just don't trust him, man. I don't trust that he's going to play. I don't trust that he's going to stay healthy. I don't trust that he's not going to say some dumb shit. It's like, and then to me, that team with Luka, he needs the ball too much. Is the other part is like, Luka needs the ball and so does Kyrie.
Yes, but Luka is overworked at this point.
No, absolutely.
Like, he needs somebody.
He needs help.
He needs help.
So, but Luka also can't work off of someone, right? Like, it's like Kyrie works off LeBron because LeBron doesn't care to take every shot.
Right.
And LeBron can create, or he can sit on the outside and you can dish or whatever. Luka and Kyrie need to start with the ball, right? Like, they're not coming off of screens and moving without the rock and doing that stuff. Like, the offense starts with those guys.
Right,
so, listen, they might, professionals, they might, figure it out. Or it'll be one of those like, yo, you take it this time, I'll take it that time. You say take the load off. I don't even know, actually. Oh, Jason Kidd, actually.
It is Jason Kidd.
Yeah, it is Jason Kidd, actually.
He can make it.
And he's a good coach and one of the greatest point guards of all time, right?
Yep.
So, if Kidd might be able to figure that out. And Kidd could have had him in Brooklyn.
Nets fan.
Just saying. Greatest. Jason Kidd leads in like crazy stats, like obviously assists, but he's also like up there in like 3-pointers, which you would never expect.
Really?
Because he can't shoot to save his life.
I was going to say, man, I never saw that guy as a shooter.
Listen, I'm almost positive Jason Kidd's top 5 in 3-pointers all time.
Get out of here,
I'm going to look it up because I'm it's crazy, but Jason Kidd, let me see, 3-point shots. Jason Kidd.
Yeah, there's no way, man.
3-pointers.
Listen, why you look at that? Mo Bamba,
14, bro.
Yeah, 14, not 5.
No, but he's dropped because Kyle Lowry, Klay Thompson, all these new guys have pushed ahead of him. At some point in time, I'm gonna tell you the people that are ahead of him now, but these are guys that have recently gotten ahead of him. So let me see. So Jason Kidd's 14. So ahead of him, Klay Thompson, Kyle Lowry, Paul Pierce, Jamal Crawford, LeBron James, Jason Terry, Vince Carter, Damian Lillard, Kyle Korver, Reggie Miller's 4th, James Harden's number 3 all time.
Wow.
Ray Allen is 2, Steph Curry's number 1.
Yeah.
So you're talking that those guys passed Jason
and
Kidd.
most of them are active players.
That's what I'm saying. These are all they've passed him. Yeah. So he was
in a league now where 3-pointers is way more.
It's way more. Right. So he's gonna drop
right?
to like 20 or 30 inevitably because he said the 3-point shot is. But when Jason Kidd was playing in his prime,
it wasn't like that.
It wasn't like that.
You dish it inside to the center,
and he couldn't shoot. And if you ever hear the joke with Jason Kidd, like the running joke was always like people called him Asen because he had no J, like, and it was like, and that's why he learned to dish the rock. And he'll tell you, like, I couldn't shoot to save my life, and so like I made a living out of like just passing the ball at the right time. So, but it's hilarious to see that guy was at one point pretty sure top 5 and 3. Yeah.
You know, that sounds like, I mean, there was a few retired guys in there, but not many.
No, not many. I'm saying Vince Carter, is retired, but, Reggie Miller, obviously.
Jason Terry is probably retired.
Jason Terry, Jamal Crawford's retired. But, dude, Damian Lillard's
just
still
retired,
playing.
right?
Yeah.
You sure he's not playing somewhere?
Who?
Jamal Crawford?
Man, you might be right. I think how this works is the bold names are active, and this makes sense because Paul Pierce retired, Jamal Crawford's not in bold in here, so he has to be retired. Jason Terry, Vince Carter, Kyle Korver, Reggie Miller, and Ray Allen. Yeah, they're not in bold, so those have to be inactive. But of the active players, it's ahead of him. It's James Harden, Damian Lillard, LeBron James, Klay Thompson, and Kyle Lowry. And then, dude, Dirk Nowitzki is behind Jason Kidd.
Wow.
Yeah. Dude,
I would have never guessed
JJ Redick is behind Jason Kidd. JJ Redick made a living shooting threes, right? Kevin Durant is number 20, which you figure Kevin Durant will get into the top 10. But, yeah, that's nuts, man. You wouldn't think that about Jason Kidd. And he's up.
That's nuts, man.
Yeah.
And LeBron is what? Number what?
LeBron is number, tell you right now.
He's like number 5 or 6, right?
9. But he'll be 5 or 6 by the time it's all said and done. LeBron's going to be top 5 in every statistical category that he's not 1 in. He'll be in the top 5. He'll be number 1 in almost everything, right? Points and assists and all that. But yeah,
I think he's only got 2 years probably left. I think from what
minimum because he wants to play with his kid, right?
Correct.
So minimum. Yeah, he says he's got a few more years left in him. So you figure he's going to play till he's 40, 41?
Yeah.
He'll play with his son 1 year. Dude.
And then do what you want, man, but I'd probably call it quits.
Yeah, but if you're him, what do? Do you go, the Lakers can't, you hope that you're able to land this draft pick or the kid falls into free agency or whatever in the Lakers time. But if you're LeBron, do you just keep signing 1-year deals and then wherever your kid gets drafted, if it's fucking Charlotte, do you just go, all right, Charlotte, like pick me up? And if you're Charlotte, you do it, right? Because you get the
tickets.
You get the farewell tour of LeBron, right? So
yeah.
And he's still playing at a high level, bro. LeBron's still
he's over 30, averaging over 30 this year.
He's still the best player in the NBA. Like he's still the best player in the NBA, bro. It's insane. If he's healthy, if he stays healthy at his age, averaging over 30, he's still the best player on the floor. It's crazy, man, to be doing this.
Yeah, that is nuts, man. So, KD to Phoenix. Which I think makes them the favorite.
Yes, because I think KD doesn't. This is a perfect match for him because he doesn't have to be the leader. I hate teams where KD has to be the leader. This reminds me of the Golden State teams where you can just plug and play KD, go out there and go get 25, 30 points, and just it doesn't have to fall on
just be the shooter,
Booker.
man.
Yeah, and then CP3 can be the asshole leader because KD doesn't like to, and then so can Booker. I think Booker doesn't have a problem with that either. So. It's almost like the perfect landing spot for him, man. Yeah,
man. So is the Nets with KD, Kyrie, and who's the other guy you just mentioned?
Yeah, they had Harden. They had Harden. They had Ben Simmons.
Is that the like?
Oh, it's the most disappointing super team of all time,
yeah.
right? It has to be. They never played together. Rarely. When they did,
was that during the COVID year?
Yeah. Well, KD sat out. And then they had the COVID year. KD, that was the ACL or the Achilles year when he got hurt in the finals. Yeah. And then COVID happens. So he misses almost 2 full years in Brooklyn. And then Kyrie doesn't play because of the whole COVID thing. Then he doesn't want to get vax. And then, so like, I think they played less than 100 games together in like a 4 or 5 season span.
Yeah.
And then James Harden, it's funny, James Harden came out now and said, like, yo, you guys are calling me a quitter when I left. This is why I left. Like, you see, like, how that, like, I saw that shit when I was there. Like, it's not going to work. And then Ben Simmons is left in Brooklyn now. Which, if you're Brooklyn, I go, KD wasn't going to re-sign anyway. You had to trade him because it was his last. So, like, hopefully you get all these draft picks and all that stuff. And, you know, you can sort of get into full rebuild mode. But, dude, Phoenix has to be the.
It's got to be the favorite, bro.
But if you're Dallas, is the trade deadline's over, right? If you're done,
I think so.
It's done, right? Okay, because I was gonna say if you're Dallas, you almost need one more. You're like, fuck, we need another big name because now you have to compete with Phoenix, you have to compete with Utah and Denver, and then or
Memphis,
Denver probably mostly, not Utah, Memphis, and then the Golden State is gonna turn it up. You figure in the last 2 months of the season.
Yep.
I actually expected the Lakers to move Anthony Davis, and I was expecting Dallas to do something like an Anthony Davis move.
Oh,
because if I'm the Lakers, I would have given up Anthony Davis for Kyrie. I don't, but I feel like I think we know where that shit's going. Like, just it's not gonna work. Just try to get something for Anthony Davis at this point in time. And I don't know that you'll get anything meaningful, but
they picked up who's it? I want to say like Russell D'Angelo or some shit like that.
Oh, D'Angelo Russell. Yeah,
D'Angelo
they did pick him up. They
Sorry.
did pick up. Was it Beasley?
They got Beasley
somewhere else. Malik Beasley? No, maybe he was somewhere else. But yeah, they did pick up D'Angelo Russell. They are a better team now. And then they got rid of Westbrook, which they needed to. And then they are a better team. But I still don't. Man, if AD is not healthy and LeBron still has to play 40 minutes, I don't like your chances with LeBron has to play 40 minutes at 37 years old for you to win a game.
30, isn't he 38 now?
Oh, yeah. I think you're right.
He's
38, dude. Yeah. And LeBron's clearly like, bro, he's at a Super Bowl and shit. He didn't even travel with his team to whatever city. Like, he doesn't give a fuck, man. He's just like, all right, bro, these guys aren't going to.
Dude, but the saddest trade of all, the Orlando Magic trade Mo Bamba for Patrick Beverly.
Man got a whole song. And then they released Beverly, right? He's done.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I think it was one of those, like, you take it to make the math work, and then you they basically, now he's on waivers.
Because I'm sure he didn't want to be there.
No, I can't imagine he'd want to be. But now he can go sign with anybody. So he can literally go back to the Lakers.
Oh,
yeah.
Wow.
So now he has to make it through waivers. Teams can claim him. So they basically, you do a buyout. They did it.
He's
two
a
guys.
good defender, bro.
No, he's great. Yeah. But I feel like he's not the Magic are a veteran away probably from being a little more competitive, but not him. Yeah, because he's too much of a shit talker and like he's not that. Like you said, he's a good defender, but they need like a.
Have you watched?
I have finally seen a game, and I'm like, okay, they're a fun watch, and they're young.
Are, bro. They're a fun watch, bro.
They're definitely a fun watch. I feel like they're maybe not CP3, but it's somebody of that caliber. I feel like they could use like even Vince Carter like towards the tail end, or like somebody like that where you just go, they need someone in that locker room who can teach them how to win. Like if that makes sense. Like
that's
just
it, bro. That's they're just missing that piece where it's like they haven't exactly learned how to finish strong every time, but they're winning games, man. And I'm going. I told my kids, I'm like, they're going to the playoffs, man. I feel like in the second half, they're gonna win enough games. Yeah, they're gonna win enough games, and they're gonna make it.
Dude, all they have to do is get in as an 8th seed, 7th seed, and
now it's a what
9? Don't 9 and 10. No, 9 and 8 play for that last spot, right?
Is it?
Is that what it is? I
feel like there was like 4
They do a whole weird shit.
Like 13
no, you might be right. They
shit.
do all these weird 1-game playoff things now. They have those playing games. You might be right, and then that's for 7 and 8. I think you're right. They do this almost like pseudo tournament for the 7 and 8 seed.
So like 7 will play 10, and then 8 will play 9 or some shit like that.
Dude, you know what you gotta look out for is in the West. You could potentially have a Lakers, Golden State, and there was one more team who would be the 6th, 7th, and 8th seed. And so you could potentially see upsets between 6, 7, and 8 beating the 1, 2, and a 3. Because like the one, I think right now the one is Denver, right?
It's either Denver or Memphis.
Yeah, so it's one of those. So you could go, do you want to play Golden State if you're Denver or Memphis in the first round?
If you're anyone.
If you're anyone, you don't. Like, you don't want to play that team in the playoffs, man. Because if I'm them, I sit Curry out another month or two. Let him get healthy. Let the rest of that squad get healthy. They traded away that number 1 pick kid, which surprised me. I'm drawing a blank on his name now, but who I thought he was going to be really good. But didn't work out with them. And bro, I just feel like those guys are vets. They'll turn it on at the right time.
I'm looking real quick. Let me just see. Yeah, Nuggets, and then Grizzlies, and then Kings.
So Nuggets, Memphis, that's what it is. Nuggets, Memphis, Kings. So you could pretend, if it stays that way, you could see Lakers, Warriors. Who's 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 right now?
Mavericks, Pelicans, Timberwolves, Warriors, Jazz.
Dude, okay, so now imagine Lakers sneak in, and then you have Dallas, Lakers, and Golden State as the 6th, 7th, and 8th seed. And you're playing against those 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. All three of those teams are capable of beating 1, 2, or 3 potentially. The Lakers of today, no. But Lakers, I don't want the Lakers in the first round if they're fully healthy.
Anyone, yeah, right.
If you're anyone, because again, now LeBron's not watching minutes. He's gonna go off, and hopefully AD stays healthy, and then you get D'Angelo Russell, and so.
So the Magic and the Lakers are in the same position, 13 right now.
They're in 13. Wow, the Lakers were in 9th like a week ago or two, so they must have been. Man.
All right, man. Let's get off this shit.
Yeah, shit. We did almost an hour on sports, man.
Let me hit you up on this. Some crazy shit going on in the world today, man.
Let's go.
In my other home, Daytona.
You want to claim it? You sure before this story?
This woman killed her husband.
Okay.
Right? So, not entirely uncommon, but the way that this happened was a little uncommon. So, her husband was terminally ill. 77-year-old guy.
Okay.
Terminally ill. In and out of the hospital. A few weeks prior to her killing him, they made a pact. And the pact was essentially going to be like a murder-suicide. But it was supposed to be him. So they were both, I guess, like according to the police, they were like, she was even in like a depressed state. So it looks like he was like, obviously I'm dying, she's depressed. So they agree that when it comes time, like if this hospital shit becomes too much, he's gonna shoot her and then turn the gun on himself.
Okay.
And shoot himself, right? Well, the guy's stint in the hospital, he's supposedly like he's really fucking weak.
Okay.
So the wife goes, he's too weak to do it. So I'll do it. So she takes so they still don't know how the fuck she got the gun in the hospital. Takes the gun out, shoots the husband, and then has second thoughts about shooting herself.
Like, nah, fuck that. She's like, he dead suddenly. I'm happy.
I wasn't terminally ill.
Why I gotta suffer just because he not here?
He was the one that was miserable, goddammit.
I don't have cancer. Ain't no
shit. I stay around a couple of years. That AI fixed me right up.
Yeah. How old was she?
She was 76.
She was also oh wow, so she's up
like
there.
a year younger.
Yeah, fuck that.
I was just thinking about him. It's like, yeah, she was in a depressed state. Not anymore.
Dude, what do you think did it? Do you think leading up, or do you think when you set that gun off, you're like, that shit sounded wild? You see this brain splatter, you're like,
right? Or when they're talking about it, and she's like, this motherfucker's not shooting me.
Like, yeah. Yo. Yeah. Can't you unplug some shit or cover his nose up or something, bro? Why? I'm like, why shoot him in the hospital?
I don't know, right? Like, just take a pillow, put it over his face, something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In the hospital, make it look like an accident at least. Yo, and then I guess she gets charged with murder, right?
Yeah. I don't know that.
Do you sentence this poor lady to now you're life in prison, right?
What to 10 years, I guess?
Yeah, could you kill your terminally ill husband? Like,
I mean, life for her could be 2 years.
Dude, what if this guy has a video, will or whatever, and he's going like, I want my wife to shoot me or somebody like kill me, like I'm terminally ill, blah blah. Like I want like.
Doesn't matter, bro. It's just like remember Dr. Kevorkian?
Yeah, no, I get that. Like it's a whole assisted suicide thing where you're not supposed to, but. As far as leniency goes, like, are you are you literally giving this woman like 25 to life or whatever it is for a murder? Is it second degree murder? I don't even know what this is, right? It's first degree. It's premeditated.
I think it's first degree. Yeah.
Right? It's premeditated. So it's like, it's the worst of the murders.
Then you'd be like, it's not premeditated. It was supposed to happen the other way around.
Bro,
I thought that was a bad idea.
That's a good point. Can you plead like, yo, manslaughter because you're like, yo, he's too weak. You got caught up in the emotions of the moment. Like, some good lawyer figure that shit out. Ask Chat GPT.
Oh, shit.
That's crazy,
Yeah,
man.
It's fucking nuts, dude.
Oh, fuck, man. That's wild, bro. I'm going to keep talking about 70-year-olds, man. So,
do it.
I don't know. And this story's a little bit older. It's probably about 6-7 months old, but it's for whatever reason it's getting traction again online. But there was this, I don't know, you saw this 19-year-old kid found the love of his life. And I agree. I seen the pictures. I think people are being assholes and they're not like, love is love, damn it. Y'all got to respect love. But this 19-year-old kid from Italy, his name is Giuseppe, of fucking course. He has a 76-year-old woman that he murdered that people thought was his grandmother when he was posting pics with her.
He murdered her?
No, sorry. He married.
Okay.
We talk about death. I'm all into it. I'm sorry. Of killing people.
So he married her?
He married. He's 19 years old, and he married this 76-year-old billionaire.
Of course
from Italy. Yeah, man. Listen, love is love. I seen the pictures. I understand it. He's got all these cute photos on his IG and stuff. I'm like, what a Cinderella story.
Dude, if that's you, like,
yeah.
Right, like, granted, there's probably people out there. Oh no, not that. Probably there are people out there that are into different things, right? And if you're into sort of old people, right, like knock yourself out, whatever. But the norm is not that.
No.
So if she's what? How old?
76.
76.
Yeah.
So let's just go. Worst case scenario, she lives another 20 years.
Yeah.
Are you at 19? Right. So you'll be 40.
Yeah.
When she passes.
Yeah.
Are you?
I see where this is going.
Are you eating pussy for 20 years?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yeah, bro. Listen, and you're asking me as a 36-year-old man, I know what the last 17 years of my life look like. Yes, bro. Unequivocally, yes.
Bring on two of them.
I will put my whole head in that shit and lick it from the inside out. I don't give a fuck. Bro, that's a small price to pay. I'll be like, I'm inheriting everything, right? Yep. All right, spread them lips open, baby. Let's go. Hold your ankles for me.
It's like every lick is 11K. Oh, sorry, 11 mil.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, that bitch, like, how many licks does it take? I'll be singing this shit.
Dude, I don't know.
Bro, if this is one of your kids, man, what is are you letting them marry this lady? Like,
why at 19? I mean, you don't really have no choice, right?
But are you being supportive of this? Like, if one of your sons comes home and says, I found the love of my life, is 76-year-old billionaire lady, like, are you trying to talk him out of this? Like, how does this work?
I think I would probably ask him, like, dude, what's the angle? Like, are you into old chicks? Or are you trying to get the money? Like, I think I would just have that candid conversation.
What if he said he wants the money?
And now I would probably give that scenario. I go, bro, like, she's, worst case scenario, 20 to 25 years. You know.
Yeah.
At that point, you could be 45. If that's,
bro, you do the most extreme sports for her for the next. You just keep getting progressively more aggressive in your. As a dad, I tell my son, I'm like, you go, boy. You
be like,
go polish that penis. Get ready for that one.
Like, I don't know what happened to her. She wanted to put up the Christmas lights. I just took out the ladder.
Took out the ladder. She just, Oh, fuck, man. This shit is crazy, bro. You know what, man? This shit happens so often, though, the other way around, that I feel like
it does happen a lot more the other way, right?
Yeah, you remember, what was the blonde chick who died at the hotel here in South Florida? I think she died at the Hard Rock, actually. Anna Nicole Smith.
I was going to say, she died. She's dead, bro?
Yeah, man. Didn't she die?
Of what?
Didn't she OD at a Hard Rock in South Florida, like,
you sure wasn't
maybe 10 years ago?
You sure wasn't in Vegas?
Man, it could have been. It's like, I'm pretty sure it was South Florida. I thought it was Hollywood or
Yeah?
Miami. Yeah.
I don't know.
But she OD'd.
But she got like in her I guess I don't want to say later years, but probably in her 30s, right? She married the really
that
old
billionaire
dude.
type. Yo, my man was a corpse, bro.
Yeah,
She
he
took one
was.
for the squad, man. Like, good for her. Dude, I respect this so much because guys, we're vain. And so you don't see this very often the other way around.
Right.
But I love this kid's entrepreneurial spirit.
Be like, this is an investment, Dad.
I
Be
respect
like,
the hustle.
this is generational wealth. He's like, I'm gonna take care of not only my future generation, I'm gonna take care of you too.
Yeah.
So you just sit back and watch me ride this out.
Listen.
Literally.
Honestly, yeah. Literally. And if you do it good enough, she may not make it through. Bro, I've been like, listen, all your friends, they gonna be miserable with pretty girlfriends. You might as well have a rich one.
You're not wrong.
Don't let them tell you anything differently, bro. Oh shit, man. Oh, what a time, bro.
Dude, I saw this story too. Where we at on time, first of all?
Right at an hour, man.
Okay, good. A Chicago woman. Shout out to Chicago. She worked. She's like 66 years old. She works for the school district,
Okay.
bro. So she found a way to steal some food,
Okay.
chicken wings
From the school.
from the school
Okay,
district.
at least it's wings. Okay, I respect that.
Bro, she stole $1.5 million worth of chicken wings.
How much chicken wings you stealing for? Wait, what? At government prices, bro? What kind of chicken wings?
Yeah, dude, I don't know.
What, bro?
I have no idea. Like the article, the one that I read didn't really go into like how she did it, but clearly she was doing it for a pretty long time.
Bro, what is she?
Name that race.
Give me a name. Give me a name. I want to take a crack at this.
I don't have a name.
You don't have a name?
No, but let me get it. Hold on.
Oh, if it start with like Tamika or something. Nah, wings. It could be a Latina too. If it's a Britney, I'm wilding out. This is gonna be good, man.
All right, here we go. Vera Liddell.
Oh yeah. Okay.
She black.
She- I don't know what you're talking about. Sean. That name could be. I met some white Veras before. Oh man, not helping the stereotype, man. Shit.
Oh man.
Dog,
so
that's
good.
how much fucking chicken are you stealing? Yo, I get it though. I love me some wings, bro. So if you can find a way to get you a
Actually, it actually
plug.
says $1.5 million of food, but primarily chicken wings.
Yo, that's a lot of food, bro. And is she eating it
she
herself?
Was, she was
selling it?
placing unauthorized food orders with the Gordon Food Service.
That is hilarious, bro.
Yeah, for 2 years. So over
That's
two,
a lot
over
of
a 2
fucking
year
chicken
span.
over a 2 year
Yeah,
span, bro.
yeah,
That's
a
why
lot,
she got
bro.
caught. That's a lot, bro.
Dude, 11,000 cases
Yeah.
of chicken wings. And I remember ordering
What are you doing with that?
chicken wings back when I used to work in foods. The cases are like 40 pounds.
Holy shit. So is she flipping? I'm assuming she's flipping on the make
It
money.
had to be,
Yeah.
bro. It had to be.
But dude, again, I gotta respect the entrepreneurial spirit. You know how many fucking that means you're selling that many.
Yeah.
Like that's a lot, dude. Because she could have got away with that if
Right,
she was
'cause you
taking a
take-
couple cases a month.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you're taking a case, like that's lasting you. Even if you eat a lot of chicken wings, that's lasting you a long time. 40 pounds of wings.
Yeah, but dude, 11,000. You talking about she's averaging 500 cases a month. To even sell that many is fucking wild, bro.
Yeah.
As a
I wonder
as a
what-
sole proprietor,
Dude, I
not an
wonder
entity.
what-
That's a lot, bro.
I wonder what she was selling them for.
Oh my god, man. You imagine she's like, I'm just trying to get my kidney surgery.
I'm like
or whatever.
reading another article here that I did not read. All right, no, I don't see it.
That's a lot. That's impressive, bro.
Yeah, it is.
Like, to steal that many, but then I'm more impressed by the fact that you were able to sell that many, because you can't keep in that. You can't eat that. Like,
No, she was selling obviously the vast majority.
yeah, you had to, right?
Dude,
So
11,000 cases.
over a 2-year span, you
Over
said?
a 2-year
Bro,
span.
that's 500 cases a month almost. That's
nuts, dude.
crazy, bro. That's
Yeah,
a
good.
lot, man.
Good for you, Vera.
Yeah, good for you, Vera. Yo, I hope you stash some
You
of
should
that
have
money
stopped
away.
that. You should have stopped at 10,000.
What is she
Maybe
getting?
you didn't get caught.
I guess she's gonna have reparations and shit. She's gonna have to pay back. What's that shit called? Yeah, I think it's called like
Like
called?
a wage
You have to-
garnishing.
yeah, I think she's gonna have to pay back that money. I'm guessing. Fuck,
Yeah, I don't know, man.
man,
All right, what else you got?
that's a lot. Shit, man. I want some chicken wings. I don't even know what to. Let me.
How about this shooting down UFOs?
Yo, you watching this on the news, bro? We shooting down
seen it.
balloons.
I feel like this
and
happening every day
UFOs.
now.
It's so common now, bro. But I feel like, do you think this is? You think this has always happened and they just didn't tell us, or do you think there's some big shit popping off that we're not paying attention to?
I don't know,
suddenly
man.
we're shooting down balloons.
So the one that made big news was the China one,
yeah,
which they let essentially fly
But that
across the entire country.
that shit took a tour of America. That shit,
That's why China was mad.
you ever watch
They was
America?
like, you know how much data we got?
That shit. Man, they got everything, but that shit already sent it back. It did, bro. That shit literally traveled. It started in what month? Like somewhere in the middle of the country. and
Yeah,
made it
something
all the
like
way.
in the like Washington, and then ended up like floating off the coast of the Carolinas, I believe.
Yeah, that shit did a whole season of American Pickers, bro. It made its run of the mill. Stopped at every city, state, and rural America. It was everywhere, bro. And then we're like, oh yeah, you done got everything. Let's shoot you down now. Where it already sent back whatever data was.
Yeah,
gonna
who
send back.
knows, bro?
That shit is crazy.
But
man.
that one I saw one with Canada. Canada shot down something the other day. There was one over. Was it
Lake Huron,
Lake
dude.
Huron. That was the other one.
That's the one that was like a UFO. It's not a balloon. They're calling it a UFO because they weren't able to identify what it was.
Yeah,
and
but the
what's
one,
flying.
the one in Canada, they said the same thing. They called,
And
it a UFO.
balloon, right?
No, I don't know what it was.
It was just a flying object. So that shit's getting crazy now, man. That or these spy sort of wars or this like war gathering intel and all that, or is getting, there's some shit behind the scenes popping off. Maybe it's the whole Russia stuff and people are just on edge and they're just collecting.
Yeah, who knows, man? I don't know.
Dude, I saw, interestingly enough, man, I followed this Reddit channel that's like it's just like random interesting facts. And sometime this week, they're talk about this whole balloon thing, but they had pictures of during World War II. It was a Boeing facility, and the Boeing facility, they had the facility was massive where they were building the fighter planes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
On top of the building, they had a fake city, so that when you looked at it from above, it looked like a city. It didn't look like a manufacturing facility. And so when they were doing the
that's
spy
good.
planes and stuff, they wouldn't bomb it because the fear was that they were going to bomb the Boeing facilities that were actually manufacturing these airplanes.
Wow.
And it had those. I'm like, man, the
That's
stuff
cool,
that,
man.
and there's all this shit that I'm like, we at the time, I'm sure nobody knew that, at least civilian wise, unless you worked like
Right.
in that thing. It just I'm wondering what's the shit we're gonna learn about 5 years from now that was actually going down. It's like, nah, man, Will Smith was actually up there fighting fucking aliens, bro, 4th of July, and we was like, and we was shooting down, something.
The
nuts.
whole slap thing was on purpose. We needed him to be out of the media for a while.
Dude, like it's I don't know, man. I'm like, this can't be new. This has to have always happened, or to an extent it's happening, or our tension's just high because of the way the world. I know there's all this talk about, maybe Russia inspired China a little with the whole Taiwan thing, and maybe they go that route and try to take back Taiwan or whatever. So
Yeah, and I know that there's actually fear, like, with the whole Ukraine war. Like, if they end up taking Ukraine, that like the next thing would be Poland.
Mhm.
Like Russia and Poland have had tensions for forever.
well, it can't stop, right? With
And so if they do that, but remember, so Poland's part of NATO.
yeah,
So it's like, so if you fuck with Poland, now you're gonna
it's a NATO country now. You fuck with everybody,
and then it's like you can't win that.
You can't,
So
yeah.
you have to drop nukes.
yeah, it's a zero sum sort of like. But the nukes thing, I've also heard too. It's like you have to drop nukes, and then you'd never be able to get them far. Like you could drop them in Poland, and which is still devastating. But you wouldn't be able to make it very far.
Okay.
Without you'd have to
Getting
do
it
some
shot
slick
down or
shit.
whatever.
Yeah, without it getting shot down. So it's like, I don't know. There's all these like super like obviously doomsday scenarios where they're like, this is the end of Russia as we know it, because it goes. They're gonna get back into a corner, and it's like it's gonna be one of those where NATO's gonna go, nah, y'all first. Like they're gonna end up taking them out first, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just interesting to see this whole geopolitical climate now, because the other part too is strategically, you can't just take Ukraine. You do need Poland, because their whole thing is they're trying to build what do you call it? I don't know. They're treating this almost like a war they're treating this like they're basically a border that's defense. And I think because of the way Russia's border is set up,
like a buffer between them and NATO countries.
Yeah, and so you can't stop at Ukraine. You have to start taking these neighboring sort of territories. I think you have to take Poland, and there's somebody else next to them.
Because there's somebody. Well, there's another one. I can't remember Is it Belarus?
I think so.
Right, where like they're very Russian friendly.
Yeah.
So they leave them alone.
Yeah, you're basically playing Risk in this bitch, like, and you're trying to take over, build, like you said, like a perimeter fence almost around you, because it, like for ground war and stuff like that, like they got to go through there first before they get to you. So and then it allows you to sort of put your anti-missile defenses and all that shit outside of your country before it even makes it in. And also it's all this, like, I've been like listening to a lot of like weird podcasts with all these weird like experts and stuff like that on like Russian wars and all this, and to hear them talk about, it's funny, none of them agree on anything. So
really,
like, all the scenarios are, I mean, they all seem to agree that there's like they can't win this, and because they can't win this, and oddly enough, they've never won a conflict that they've initiated. That's like one of the things that I figured. Like they started naming out all these like Russian invasions and conflicts that none of them end well for them.
Yep.
And they all end with them like pulling off some crazy shit. And they're like, yo, this one, it's almost like they're not just gonna like give up and go, okay, I guess we just lost that. So they all go to, it's gonna end up being some kind of nuke thing, but it does it end up being NATO country going like, yeah, we're not gonna let you get there. And then, or does it end up with an assassination of a major head of, like it's one of those things where they all seem to agree, at least on that part, where they just go, they're not just gonna stop.
Yep.
So it's like what gets them to stop or whatever. So,
that's
and I guess the other thing is they're going, unless Ukraine completely obliterates them, because, which is funny, man. I never think about the logistics of shit like this. Ukraine has been capturing Russian artillery and vehicles like tanks and all this kind of stuff, and they're like, these things are now due, like they've been getting maintenance and upgrades and being fixed and all this stuff, and so you're gonna start seeing these things roll out, and it's sort of gonna give them an advantage because they don't have this of their own, or now it increases their capacity. But it's like something like that where it sounds so like simple, where you're just like, oh yeah, of course you got more tanks now, and they're all like on the field, like, okay, like
yeah, man. But every picture I see of Ukraine just looks like, it looks like a war-torn country.
Is it there? Yeah. No,
like,
it is crazy.
It's like y'all didn't lose yet.
Yeah. It is crazy, man. And I don't know shit about like warfare and stuff like that, so I'm just kind of like,
no, but you go
wild,
like, and I saw one video in particular where it was like this really like kind of hole in the wall small business was serving one of those where it's like they have like a little window, you come up to the window and you order something and then they give it to you, like one of those, and the whole shit just shakes because a bomb drops like right near it. And I'm going, man, these people are just going to work and doing a lot about their normal lives, and then shit like that's happening, man. That's insane. And I don't think anyone, the vast majority of people here in the States, you have no idea. Like when the internet goes out of my house, my kids freak the fuck out.
Oh, bro, we be having meltdowns. Yo, can you imagine that?
I couldn't imagine being.
You try to call in, like, yo, man, like, call in. Why you calling in? I don't know, bro. I don't know if you heard, but there's like bombs and shit going on outside.
Wait, you better get your ass to work.
we got to
get paid.
Yeah, we got a fence. We'll be okay. Come in.
Yo, before we get out of here, man, how you doing on your books?
Yo, I actually did. I was late finishing my January one, so it did drag into February.
Yep.
But I did knock out my February one, but I cheated because I did an audiobook for February.
That's not cheating, man. That's good.
So I'm 2 down.
That's
I'm
good.
2 down for the year so far.
I am only 1 down. I think I was proud of myself that I finished it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just haven't picked up the other one. But I'm gonna give. We got a book here. I'm gonna give Derek Sivers a shout out, man. So if y'all can see this on YouTube, probably can't see it that close, but it's How to Live, 27 conflicting answers and one weird conclusion. But essentially, the book goes through like all the different ways that you can live. So it's like, I mean, anything from like, like don't live in the same place for more than, a certain amount of time, to like have several partners, to get married, to, like all this shit. And it's cool because and it's not even chapters, it's like every section of it goes through like in depth of whatever that topic is, or which way to live that is. And it makes you, it kind of draws you in on all of them, and you're almost having like FOMO where you're like, fuck man, like I should have did that.
Right.
and then eventually in the book you get to like the life that you lead, where he's praising that too, right?
And you're like, oh, that does sound pretty cool.
And it's like he praises that too, just as much as he praises the other ones. And at the end, it's just like, what I took out of it was like, there is no wrong way. There's just your way.
Yeah, do what makes you happy.
Yep.
And lead your path. And yeah, like you said, I think we all get caught up on how other people are living or what you think it should be or whatever it is.
Right.
It's like, man, there isn't supposed
There's
to.
not a right way, bro.
There's not a right way, man. There's not a I think there like happiness or like living life isn't an absolute answer, right? It's like an infinite possibilities of, it's just depending on.
And you figure your levels of happiness are on a roller coaster. You get highs and you get lows. But yeah, just like it's weird, man. Like I said, I don't think there's after reading that book, I was like, man, there's just no one way. Maybe life is just a mixture of kind of all of those things, right?
Yeah, you experience as much as you can.
Yeah.
And then see what works for you, or see which point in time makes you the happiest, and then do more of that, right? Or whatever it is that makes you happy, man.
Do more of that.
Dude, I'll shout out. So the audiobook that I did was really cool. It's called The Coldest Case. It's on Audible. What I liked about it was that, usually audiobooks I like the ones that are read by the authors, because I feel like it's
If they're good.
Yeah, unless you get a boring guy. But typically
But no, they're right.
Even if it's boring and I just check out, I like because they're reading it the way it was intended to be. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
If that makes sense. And so this one, what I like about it, it's actually a cast of actors, including Aaron Paul, like dude from Breaking Bad. He played Jesse Pinkman on Breaking Bad. Natalie Emmanuel from Game of Thrones. Kristen Ritter. Like, there's just a great cast of actors and actresses.
It's like a movie.
And yeah, so that's how it feels. It feels like you're listening to a movie. The book, so it's actually pretty cool. I got sucked in. Didn't take me long to get through it. I think it's a less than 4 hour listen at normal speed. You 1.5 it or 1.25 it. You can get through it a little bit quicker. But typically with audiobooks, I will do the speed listen.
I've never done that.
No, so I will if it's a regular author. With this, I don't recommend it because you lose the cadence of the actual conversation,
okay.
and it reads
matters.
better that way. It matters because they do the sound effects. It's literally like you're listening to a movie.
Yep.
And it's a James Patterson book. It's awesome. I really liked it, man. I enjoyed it. I'm like actually looking for more like that now, where I'm like, okay, I'd never read fiction. And so it was like the first thing that I've done that's fiction in a long time, and it was just like a murder mystery type thing. I wasn't a fan of how the book itself ended, but it did keep me entertained the entire time. Like I was literally like, oh shit, it's kind of like, this is crazy, So
that's cool.
Yeah, so that part was really, really cool, man.
So you're ahead of me, man, but I got 14 days. 15 days
dude,
left.
I didn't finish my January book, man. And you told me you were done. I think I had 2 days left. I was like, fuck, I still have 80 pages to go, which it's doable. You can do 80 pages in a day or two, but didn't have a chance to get to it.
Not me.
So I
Dude, we know people that like.
Oh my god! I know people that read
like
100
avid
a day.
readers, or they'll like have a day off and they'll read like an entire book. Like, no, that's not me, bro. I can't do it.
I have done that in the past, like this is pre-kids,
like on purpose,
pre-life. Yeah, where I read a whole book in a day. But I'm talking, I was probably a teen or something like that. Like I've read a whole book in a day, and maybe it was 200 pages or something like that. I can't do that now. Like I just could. Even when I tell myself, like if I'm on vacation or a long flight and I take a book, and I tell myself like, oh, I'm gonna read this the whole time. I just I don't.
It's too much.
Yeah, it's too much, man.
I'll get sleepy after a while.
Yeah, same, and I end up reading the same page over and over because I check out. Yeah, and so it's like, oh, I did read this the whole way through because I read that same page 76 times. But it's like,
yep,
yeah.
All right, man. On that,
cool,
tell them where they can find us.
Listen, man, come catch us at the Carbon Food Podcast on IG, the Carbon Food Podcast on YouTube, at Carbon FP Pod on Twitter, TikTok. You know, look, we're on everything, man. And then all your favorite listening platforms. We're on Audible. Speaking of that now, so do catch us on Audible, catch us on Amazon Music, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Leave us a review there. Leave us a review on Podchaser. You know, hit us with the drink stuff. Any recommendations? Tell us what you hate, what you like. I love getting the text from people like, oh, I tried the drink this week. It's really good. And all that. So shout out to you guys. And thank you guys for all the love and support, man. We appreciate that.
Yeah, and this drink, definitely check it out. Like I said, it's a little bit of work, but it's worth it.
Yeah, man, I've been drinking it. I'm like,
yeah, this is worth it's worth the muddling and shit, man. You can batch it too. So. Mm-hmm. Do that and let us know what you think, and we will see you next week.
See you next week.
Peace.
Peace.